be playing at TCU this weekend as part of the Big East Big 12 Challenge. I think we got our hands full, obviously, on Sunday, and it's a great opportunity for us. Try to get a really quality win on the road. Obviously, they're very well coached. We've my first couple of years here at Xavier, when I was an assistant, we played against his teams, and they beat us once in the NCAA tournament when he was at Pittsburgh, and we were lucky to get a win against them the next year. But they're very talented. They're well coached. They're big. They obviously have a tremendous guard in Desmond Bain, who I think will probably be about as good of a wing as we'll play all year. So again, we're going to have our hands full. You look at them, and I think they're a tremendous defensive team. They're a little bit like us. I think they play really hard. They're really handsy. They're seventh in the country in steal percentage. They create a lot of turnovers, and a lot of their offense comes off of their defense. So we have to do a great job of obviously taking care of the ball. And then they're a really good offensive rebounding team. We got to do a good job blocking them out. But it's a great opportunity for us to finish off our non-conference here at TCU.
How does their three-point shooting affect the way they play? And I asked that because I think in their first two games they made like 28 threes. But that's the first two games of the season. I don't know how much from you've seen in recent film.
Yeah, they rely on the three heavily. They don't get to the free throw line at all, rarely. So again, they rely heavily on the three. They obviously have Desmond Bain, who can shoot the ball really, really well. Grayer, who's a grad transfer, can shoot the ball really well at the forward position for them. So they shoot the ball well. They try to space you out, go 4 out, 1 in, drive, kick, play off of ball screens. We got to limit their threes, that's for sure, in this game.
And this is your last non-conference game, and getting a win on the road in the non-conference is big for the net and for your resume. How much do you emphasize that, or do you not put that extra pressure on the guys heading into the game?
We do. I want our guys to have urgency, right? And it's a great opportunity. I don't want them to play tight, though. I mean, it's a great opportunity. This is we need this opportunity, and we got to be able to take advantage of it.
Is there a particular matchup in this game that you find really interesting that you think could maybe determine how this game plays out?
Yeah, obviously, their headliner's Desmond Bain. We have to do a great job on him. I mean, they rely on him to score. He's one of the top 10 scorers all time, right, at TCU. I mean, we have to limit his shots, but he does such a good job binding guys too, man. But I don't. We'll probably put different guys on him throughout the game. Adam, whether it's Najee, with his size and length, hopefully it can bother Desmond Bain a little bit, or Bryce a little bit. I think Bryce with Pitbull on the ball. But I think that'll be a big matchup kind of throughout the game, probably Najee and Desmond.
So I hate to put you on the spot here, but a lot of media outlets and different people, they're releasing their all-decade teams and things like that. So, I think you've been here for about the last decade.
You're putting me on the spot.
I am putting you on the spot. So who's on that team for you from your time here?
Man. Adam, that's a tough one. We've been fortunate at Xavier to have a lot of good players. I mean, that's hard. That's not an easy one. You want me to answer it though, don't you? You really do. Oh man. Yeah, I think you start probably with Holloway. Probably throw Blewett on there, obviously. Man, I'm gonna leave some people off that are really good. Probably Makura. He just kind of brought that edge, man, that you play to win. I'm not putting Jackson on there. That's for sure. Dante Jackson's not on the team. Golly. Derek Brown was a tremendous player, man. He was here. Again, that had been right before the 2010, though, right, Iser? So you can't put him on. Yeah, Jalen was awfully good. I mean, but we've had some. I mean, Stainbrook's awfully good. Man, God, that's hard. Samaje Christian was pretty dang good. Man, I don't know. Okay, what, can I go more than 5? I mean, is that possible? Talk us through this, huh? Yeah, I mean, Samaje was really good. He was only here for 2 years. Sumner. I mean, Edmund Sumner was phenomenal. He was only only played for 2 years. Don't tell Brad now. If we're talking horse, that's a different game. If we're playing 5-on-5, probably not taking B. I love B. Man, I would say probably Holloway, Blewett, McCura, probably Reynolds. I just love the edge that Jalen played with. You probably would throw in there, God, Miles Davis was a heck of a player. Miles was a big key for a couple of big years there. I'd probably put Sumner, though, and Samaje. I'd probably go 4 guards and a big. There you go. Samaje, Sumner, Blewett, Holloway, and we'll go Reynolds. That's a tough one, though.
Good.
God.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Quentin's balling out early. What did you expect this kind of production this early in the season? And what do you attribute that to? I mean,
I thought Quentin really stepped up like a senior should have. Obviously Najee was unable to play against Western Carolina, and I thought he played with a great calmness about him. He looked very comfortable. He looked in rhythm. He didn't take bad shots, and that's why I told him, I have confidence in him as a shooter as long as he takes them within the flow and he has a rhythm. And, he's shooting 36 from 3 now. So he's more than capable. And he has to be that guy that sets that tone for us offensively and has that, like I said, that calming influence. Slow us down a little bit. Get us into whatever we need to do. And I thought he did that against Western Carolina. And then I thought, obviously, he had his best game of the year.
Desmond Payne is from Richmond, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
How did he appear on the recruiting?
Yeah, it was crazy. And he played on the kind of the B team for Indiana Elite, which is like the Adidas organization there in Indiana. Quentin was actually on the A team, right? Him and Kyle Guy were teammates. Quentin and Kyle Guy were. Bain actually played on the second team, and probably didn't get seen nearly as much, obviously. His name started to really get out there that he was a scoring machine during his senior year, and we, for whatever reason, again, I remember I was an assistant at the time. I was gonna go watch him play a high school game because he went to New Creations up there in Richmond, and then we really didn't need that position though at that time, so it was like, you know what, I didn't end up going to see him. I just remember if there's something came up. But his recruitment really took off. I think he had a lot of mid-major stuff kind of heading into his senior year. And I think he kind of bet on himself, said, hey, I think I'm a better player. I'm going to play out my senior year. And then all of a sudden, in the springtime, he started reeling a bunch of offers late. So he was a late developing kid, really got better late. And obviously that trend kept on going for him, right? He's gotten better since he's been in college. He's a dynamic scorer.
Their big guy, how does he compare with some of the other bigs that you've run into?
Yeah, Kevin he's a redshirt sophomore. He's a redshirt sophomore, I believe. Yeah, sophomore. He is big. I mean, he's every bit of 6'11". He's long. He's a lefty. Loves to go over his right shoulder. But I would say he's very similar to some of the big guys that we've seen this year, whether it's Josh Carlton for UConn or Jeremiah Tillman from Missouri. Just his sheer size on the floor, and he just impacts the game on both ends of the floor, whether it's him blocking shots, whether it's him rebounding. He's an elite offensive rebounder, or finishing around the rim, which makes him a little bit different. He's a lefty, right? And I think, he's all left hand, but everybody knows it, but he still gets back to that left hand. It's a little bit like Stainbrook used to do for us.
Is there point guard position like by committee? They lost like a senior, but
they got the kid Dennis, who's a good player, man. He's a tough kid. I think the team kind of takes on a lot on his personality. Defensively, he's big time defensively, but they kind of do it a little bit by committee. You'll see Bain has the ball in his hands a lot. He's going to use a lot of ball screens, and they're asking him to score and to play make. Nimhard, who's really kind of come on for them this year, taking a big jump for them in production. They're going to play him at the one some. He's 6'5". So again, they put their wings in playmaking situations a lot, to create up for others. So it is a little bit by committee.
Sorry, I just have one last question.
Yeah.
Kiki has dealt with the foot injury, so we haven't seen all of Kiki at this point.
Yep.
But he's been pressing a little offensively, hasn't scored. I think he missed his last 10 shots in the last
Yeah.
3 games. Is he thinking too much more than being Kiki offensively?
Yeah, I think so. You know, again, I told him, I met with him today. I showed him all of his minutes from last game. And, he wants to play, he wants to help. And he said, Coach, I just don't feel comfortable out there yet. And I said, I know. I said, it's early. I said, it's going to take time, especially for a freshman point guard. Point guard position, you're responsible for a lot of things, not just your position, but everybody else on the team as well. You have to be able to communicate, execute, and then we want him to score some too, right? He's got to be able to score because he can do that. He can shoot and score. And I thought for the most part, other than maybe the one shot he had where he kind of went right and played off of 1 foot, they were good shots. I told him, those are good looks, man. Then the next time, though, down the floor, he had a wide open look. He didn't even look at the rim. And I said, well, why not? He said, well, I missed one before. I said, I don't care. I want you to look at the rim, then make the right play. I thought he did take a big jump last game with how hard he played. That's step one, right? And then now step 2 is, can he execute at this level? And it's not his fault. He was out for a month. Again, I told him, I said, it's not easy. I said, you just gotta keep pressing, keep pushing forward, keep growing. Starts in practice because we're competing a lot in practice right now. And I think that'll help him kind of be able to figure out his role on this team because we need to continue to grow it moving forward.